311, your one call to City Hall.
Hola, soy Marisol, desde Canoga Park, la ciudad toda americana. Estás viendo LA City View, Canal 35, nuestra ciudad, nuestro canal.
In LA this week,
Southern California's biggest job fair lures some of the world's top tech firms to downtown Los Angeles, and they're hiring. You know who else is hiring? The city of Los Angeles. I'm Gil Reyes with a story next.
What is this lady doing? Well, she's doing somebody's taxes for free. I'm Anna Marcos, and we'll show you how city leaders want you to take advantage of free tax prep LA. That's coming up.
I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, how LAX is celebrating the centennial of a man who had a huge impact on Los Angeles.
hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. While city and county leaders are working to put more clause into laws on human trafficking, here in LA, advocates estimate 21 million victims are trapped in modern-day slavery. Anna Marcos shows us what our leaders here in LA are doing about it.
It's an effort to take a bite out of the human and sex trafficking that run rampant in some LA neighborhoods. Adult-oriented businesses have been forewarned. Follow the law or else.
Every young girl put on the street corner to sell her body is a victim. And there are far too many victims on our streets every single night. And these sleazy motels and other establishments where these victims are abused and raped turn a blind eye.
City and county leaders have introduced proposals to force businesses to follow a law already in the books. California SB 1193 requires merchants and agencies that deal with human trafficking to post information and posters to show victims where they can get help. But more than half the businesses ignore the law. Local leaders say no more.
These posters are required, and we have made it abundantly clear.
The new proposals call for alerts to go out to all city and county motels, bars, nightclubs, ERs, urgent care centers, and transit centers to put up information and hotline numbers. Fines are stiff for noncompliance, $500 for a first violation and $1,000 for a second, with no cap for further violations.
When a girl doesn't know who to call, simply seeing a poster with a right number also can give her a window, an opportunity to be able to escape.
For them, it truly is the difference between slavery and freedom.
In the past year, the Human Trafficking Task Force in the Valley alone has arrested more than 20 pimps, cited more than 3,000 Johns, and rescued 10 girls who were victims of sex trafficking, 8 of them minors. Local leaders hope the new poster blitz will get even more of the victims off the streets. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Anyone who needs help or who needs to report human or sex trafficking can call 888-539-2373. Well, heading over to LAX, where officials are honoring a man who helped transform our city. As Rasha Goel reports, travelers have a chance to relive Tom Bradley's legacy on the big screen.
I wanted to cry because it was so heart moving, and so it's fabulous.
Lorraine Bradley, the daughter of former Mayor Tom Bradley, is excited that passengers traveling through the Tom Bradley International Terminal can now enjoy a glimpse of her father's legacy. The video will play on a 72-foot tall time tower, which illuminates photographic and moving images of his life.
This civil advocate bridged cultural divides, overcame naysayers, and positioned Los Angeles as a progressive city in a constant state of growth and revitalization.
This is the year, the campaign where we not only celebrate what he achieved, not just as mayor, but throughout his entire life. We celebrate what he achieved and those who helped him to do it.
I just think it's great to honor people who've contributed so much to the growth of the city and have this vision. It's a gorgeous airport, very easy in and out. And to honor him for all of his contributions is a really neat thing.
Tom Bradley was the first African American elected to the LA City Council and served from 1973 to 1993. His 20 years in office marked the longest tenure by any mayor in the city's history.
Mayor Bradley also pushed for the development of LAX in the late 1970s and early 1980s, which resulted in the airport you see today with 2 levels of roadways and connecting terminals.
That he loved people, and he loved all people, and he opened that city hall as wide as could be to the great diversity of Los Angeles, which really is our challenge right now.
The international terminal was named in his honor during the 1984 Summer Olympic Games. The new Tom Bradley International Terminal is now an additional 1 million square feet of space with premier dining and shopping places. It's been part of the $14 billion LAX modernization plan.
We sacrificed a lot for him to be able to do everything that he managed to do, but it was worth it only because it benefited everyone.
Now, if you're not traveling anytime soon, you can still catch a glimpse of this video during the month of February. In honor of Black History Month, the video will be playing at the Tom Bradley Tower in City Hall. Reporting from LAX, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
The Great Hall in Tom Bradley International Terminal is one of the most advanced multimedia environments in any airport in the world. Well, Angelenos can now count on millions more gallons of water being recycled as LA's Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant beefs up clean water production. Anna Marcos takes us there.
3, 2, 1.
It may look almost as fun as steering the wheel on a toy car, but these guys are on a very serious mission as they turn on the spigot to increase recycled water usage in LA.
This now has become a full water production facility. 100% of the water that comes into this place now is produced for beneficial reuse.
This is the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant, and it just doubled the amount of water it recycles to 12 million gallons a day, which means all of it. There are 4 other water reclamation plants like it in LA. The system uses reverse osmosis and ultraviolet light to clean the water.
Well, you know that water that comes down the drain, you know that water that comes down the shower, and you know that other water that comes from the toilet, all that comes here to the water reclamation plant. Even though we don't drink it, it cleans up just like drinking water.
The recycled water is then used for irrigation and for the seawater barrier, which keeps seawater from seeping into our drinking water. All that recycled usage helps us save on our precious drinking water.
It may be raining now, but city leaders say it doesn't always rain in sunny California, and this plant puts us one step closer to becoming water sufficient in the future.
We'll have a reliable water supply that reduces our dependence on imported water and helps create the local water independence that we need to be a good city for the future and to be a reliable and sustainable city.
The joint effort between the city's Department of Sanitation and LA Water and Power could be a sign of the future, as more and more water collected by sanitation is recycled back into our homes. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
City leaders say more water recycling, stormwater capture, and other recapture strategies are certainly part of LA's water future. And despite the recent rains, water conservation also continues to be part of our future. As we all make efforts to conserve our precious resource, there are a few Angelenos who go above and beyond the call. Gil Reyes shows us some of their ideas from the Drop Defender Awards.
Marcus and Tamkin Collins are saving an estimated 30% on their water bill since replacing their lawn with drought-tolerant landscaping.
When we first moved in, it was all grass, and we really wanted to go for something unique and something California-friendly because grass doesn't really do well in LA. So we dug up all the grass, and we spent some time every weekend just going to Home Depot, going to local nurseries, and picking out cute succulents. We wanted to keep it cost-effective, so we went for smaller succulents and, smaller plants and bushes. And next thing you know, they all grew and they started flowering, and we're left with this. So we're very happy.
They're also winners in LA's Drop Defender Awards, an effort from the Mayor's Office and the Department of Water and Power, recognizing excellence in water conservation. Winners were selected through response on social media.
Just because we've had pretty wet winter so far, it doesn't change the need to save and continue to do everything we can to reduce water use.
Peter Ford is another Drop Defender winner. He says before every hot shower, he fills a bucket with the cold water that runs before it turns warm and uses this unused shower water for his garden. It's all on his website, helpsavecalifornia.com.
On the website, I calculated it's about 2,000 gallons a year that each family can save, and that's on the low estimate. So it's a real help when everybody comes together and makes that little effort, that tiny little effort.
All very important tips. Also very important to point out that even though our DWP rates are going up, doesn't mean you'll have to pay more. In fact, you can cut your bills significantly if you make smart decisions, and who knows, your yard could end up looking better than ever. In Hyde Park, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The campaign selected one winner from each of the 15 city council districts. Well, you might have money coming back this tax season and not even know it. City leaders are pushing their Free Tax Prep LA, a free tax program for families with limited incomes. Anna Marcos takes a look.
Florida Daniels, a retired LAUSD worker, is prepared as she enters the Watts Family Source Center. She is armed with all her tax papers, ready to take advantage of the Free Tax Prep LA program, and she's hoping to get a big tax break like she got on a previous year.
That little money I got back was wonderful. It helped me so with my grandchildren. We went into Sears. Sears had a terrific sale there on the dresses.
City leaders are pushing their Free Tax Prep LA campaign, which provides free tax preparation for all Angelino families making under $64,000 a year. There's a lot of tax credits you may not even know you had coming.
We've had several people who are homeless, working homeless individuals, and they've actually used the return to secure housing.
So what kind of cash back are we talking about? Well, if you're a family with 3 or more kids, you can expect up to $6,000 in earned income tax credit. That's EITC. Add to that another $2,000 or $3,000 in other tax credits as well.
Many of our households are working, at the $20,000, $18,000, even the $16,000 range. And so when you put $6,000 or $8,000 on top of that, you've increased the household income by more than 30%. That's major.
If we put the funds into their pockets and then they begin to spend the money into our economy, that stimulates our economy.
For more information on getting free tax preparation, visit www.freetaxprepla.com. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
And a disclaimer, not everyone will qualify for the full amount of tax credits. Well, are you looking for a job? Well, good news. The city of LA is hiring. So are California's most cutting-edge companies. Employers recently gathered in downtown on the lookout for top talent. Gil Reyes has more.
The line to enter snaked around nearly 3 city blocks. Thousands of techies looking for work.
I'll be graduating this May, so I want to start searching for jobs.
I can work both ends. I can be an operational person or I can be a developer person, whatever anybody wants.
We are at the Wreath in downtown Los Angeles for what's being billed as the largest job fair in Southern California. More than 10,000 job seekers looking for work with over 250 tech firms. Welcome to Tech Fair LA.
Big companies like YouTube, Snapchat, SpaceX, and Tesla. They're all here, and job seekers can speak directly with company executives. The event is free. Jason Nazar of the firm called Comparably hosts the event with the mayor's office.
You've got a lot of amazing companies that are actively hiring, and they're looking for great talent. And you have all these amazing Los Angelinos with a diverse set of skills. And it's our job and responsibility to connect those great candidates, those companies.
The city of Los Angeles is also hiring.
We're looking for engineers, we're looking for IT people, we're looking for management.
The city's information technology agency oversees video services for the city. At the booth they've set up, they're using virtual reality goggles to offer tours of the workplace. Just strap them on.
This is our VR. We have videos of, say, the observation deck at City Hall. We also have our New Year's Eve. We did the New Year's Eve event at City Hall. It's all in VR, so we can experience it. We're going to try to do that. We're also going to try to do some live streaming of those events, also in VR.
Virtual reality. It could be part of the job if you end up working for ITA. Outside that, the entire city family is looking to fill positions, as nearly half of its workforce will be eligible for retirement next year. In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Information Technology Agency is also the agency that oversees Channel 35 and this newscast. Well, LA's brightest and finest science students from around the city are putting their brains to the test as they prepare for a science and technology-geared competition. Rasha Goel has more.
Interrupt, be Captain 0. That is correct.
These are the future inventors of Los Angeles. 230 top science students, 46 teams from 26 high schools are preparing to compete in the LADWP Science Bowl regional competition. Today's scrimmage is set up in a game show format.
The teams are in 10 different rooms. We have 2 teams going head-to-head with toss-up and bonus questions.
North Hollywood High School has been among the top competitors.
We've won this competition, the LADWP won 17 times in the last 19 years. We won nationals once, and a couple of seconds, and a couple of thirds, and they're always strong.
The winning team at the regional competition will then go on to compete at the U.S. Department of Energy's National Science Bowl, held in the spring, a competition where LA students have a chance to shine.
I love chemistry, so I think, if I study more and more, I think I could make it. I think I could answer most of the questions.
And while the competition focuses on challenging the students' potential, it also is a platform that encourages them to pursue careers in science.
We want to encourage students from all backgrounds and all parts of the city to pursue studies and careers in math, science, and technology. The city needs engineers, scientists. The Department of Water and Power needs hires engineers and scientists.
I love science, and this is something that I get to do to pursue that interest, and it's just a really great experience.
An experience that may prove to be the right mix of elements for future success. I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
LADWP Science Bowl is one of 10 regional competitions in California and 65 nationwide. Well, did you know that ships are some of our heaviest polluters? But they don't have to be, and the Port of LA is getting on board with an investment of $150 million into alternative green energy and something called AMP technology. And Marco shows us the latest ship to get amped up and what it's all about.
The cable is now connected, and the battleship Iowa becomes the latest ship to get plugged into clean and green energy at the Port of LA through the AMP system, which stands for Alternative Maritime Power.
Shoreside power technology has helped us to substantially reduce ship emissions here in America's busiest trade gateway.
Plugging a ship into AMP and taking it off diesel energy while it's on shore is the emissions equivalent of taking 33,000 cars off the road in one day. The Port of LA led the way in creating AMP technology in 2004, and it is now built into all new ships around the world.
Port of Los Angeles was the first worldwide port in introducing the AMP technology that is used on more than 600 ships.
It was technology like this that has now become California state law and a global standard for our industry.
Today, the battleship Iowa is going one better when it comes to going green. It's about to make all 10,000 lights on its decks more earth-friendly as well.
We're right now working to upgrade our interior lighting
It's 1980s lighting, and it's all fluorescent lamps, and we're working on LED lights, which should reduce our power expenditure by about 66%.
The Battleship Iowa, being a teaching museum, has even built an exhibit to teach visitors about the impact of AMP technology, because even an historic ship has to look forward to the future when it comes to greening the environment. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Ships are responsible for about half of all port pollution in the South Bay. Well, back in downtown LA, a sculpture in the Civic Center could be receiving the musical makeover it deserves after 40-plus years of ridicule. Gil Reyes has more. Gil.
Well, Yana, this public art piece in downtown Los Angeles has had several unflattering nicknames over the years, including the Tri-Foolery and 3 wishbones in search of a turkey. But now a group of city preservationists may have the financial backing to finally turn this into something very special.
The last time it lit up and broadcast music was more than a year ago on its 40th anniversary celebration, and many of the lights didn't even work. Since then, the art piece known as the Triforium has stood without a purpose. In fact, the 60-foot-tall sculpture built by the late artist Joseph Young has never lived up to its full potential.
He saw this as a musical instrument that people could play, that people could interact with. But you're making this in conjunction with Los Angeles City, so you have a lot of people you need to talk to and a lot of people you need to convince, a lot of moving parts. It ran over budget, tragically, and so it has a bumpy start and never really gets off the ground. So it's just sort of sat here and waited and waited and waited and waited.
Enter Tom Carroll and his friends at the Triforium Project. They've received a $100,000 grant from the Goldhirsch Foundation to refurbish the lights and, yes, make the music from it composed by the public, instead of being blared from a CD player or hidden keyboardist. How? Well, with planned motion sensors placed around the sculpture. LA-based electropop band Yacht are partners in this project.
We can build a very inexpensive computerized network system that allows people not only to create music by running around and dancing with the Triforium and creating footfall-based, sensor-based reactions,
but also to send small compositions from their smartphones to the Triforium to play. So anyone, you don't have to be a musician, you can just tap out a few different color bars and send your piece right to the work itself.
We think it'll cost more than $100,000, unfortunately, to do all of that. So we're right now in this process of identifying other grants, potentially city funds, other partnerships, and really to kind of realize the idea of what the Triforium was always supposed to be, but that the technology didn't permit in 1975.
A musical instrument anyone can play. In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The group believes the project fits right in with Councilman Jose Huizar's plan to turn the Civic Center into a more pedestrian-friendly, dynamic destination. Well, authorities arrest several suspects wanted in connection with a deadly fire that happened more than 2 decades ago. A new bridge over the Los Angeles River helps connect the San Fernando Valley with downtown LA. And city officials get ramped up for a new skate park. All these stories in City Beat. More than 20 years after a massive fire at a Westlake apartment building killed 10 people, including 7 children and 2 pregnant women, authorities have arrested the suspects accused of setting the blaze. Prosecutors plan to file 12 counts of capital murder charges against alleged gang members Ramiro Alberto Valerio and Joseph Alberto Mong. Another suspect, Joanna Lopez, was charged in 2011 with murder related to the fire and was already being held. Los Angeles Police Chief Charlie Beck said the suspects were involved in large-scale narcotic sales, adding that detectives just would not let go of this case. New evidence and witnesses helped investigators identify the arson suspects. Officials described the fire as the deadliest arson in state history.
We believe the most horrific case of arson in the city of Los Angeles history.
City leaders and community members recently celebrated the grand opening of the newly constructed Riverside Drive Bridge and Roundabout. The new bridge is approximately 1,200 feet in length and includes a barrier-protected auxiliary lane for bicyclists and pedestrians. The project is the first bridge in the city of LA that has a Class 1 bike path. At the end of the bridge, there is a new multi-lane roundabout, also the first in LA. The $60 million investment was made possible with funding from multiple sources. City Council District 13, the Department of Recreation and Parks, and the city's Bureau of Engineering announced that funding has been identified to start work on a new skate park located at the Echo Park Recreation Center, replacing this abandoned and graffitied pool near the 101 freeway. The designs include a mini bowl in the center of the park and street-style elements along the park perimeter. The venue will be geared toward both beginning and intermediate level skaters and utilize 7,000 square feet of space at the recreation center.
There's going to be a lot of elements that skaters will love, but young skaters are especially going to love this skate park.
Get up close and personal with Curious George and Daniel Tiger from PBS Kids. Have a sweet tooth? Well, this convention will certainly satisfy all of your cravings. And the Harlem Globetrotters put on quite a show on the court. All this in this week's Things to Do. The Los Angeles Zoo and Botanical Gardens hosts PBS Socal Kids Weekend. The event fills the zoo's eucalyptus grove with a variety of engaging fun for families with book readings, themed crafts, activities, and a kids' dance party. Guests can enjoy a special opportunity to take photos with PBS Kids characters Curious George and Daniel Tiger from Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. PBS SoCal Kids Weekend activities are free with paid admission to the LA Zoo. It all takes place on Saturday, February 18th and Sunday, February 19th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more, visit lazoo.org. Meet thousands of Californians who share your brand's love for all things sweet, salty, and savory in the world of baking and sweets. Dubbed the West Coast's biggest baking and pastry convention, the LA Cookie Con and Sweet Show is coming to the Los Angeles Convention Center. You'll be able to see, sample, and create delicious treats. Get your taste buds and sweet tooths ready for one sweet event. The convention will have celebrity chefs, special guests, a kids zone, baking workshops, a diverse array of free samples, and a baking contest. It all takes place on February 18th and 19th. For more, visit lacookiecon.com. The original Harlem Globetrotters are preparing for their action-packed 2016-2017 tour. A star-studded roster will have fans on the edge of their seats to witness the ball-handling wizardry, basketball artistry, and one-of-a-kind family entertainment that thrills fans of all ages. For 90 years, the Harlem Globetrotters have provided smiles, encouraged sportsmanship, and service to millions of people worldwide. A mix of athleticism, entertainment, trick shots, and ball handling will keep the family smiling and entertained. Don't miss your chance in seeing this iconic team in action. Visit HarlemGlobetrotters.com for more. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane from all of us here at LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.
I'm Kevin from Chatsworth, offering you a taste of New Orleans since 1986. You're watching LA City View, Channel 35. Our city, our channel.
Good morning, good morning. If I could ask everyone to please take their seats. It is Friday, February 17th. Shh. I want to welcome each and every one of you to City Hall, to your Los Angeles City Council meeting. This council meets every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Madam Clerk, we do not have a quorum at this time. We should within the next few minutes. But I think we can begin today with the presentation portion of our agenda. So I'd like to defer to the council member from Council District 8, and that would be Marquise Harris-Dawson for a very important presentation. Mr. Harris-Dawson, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I'm going to ask our guests to join us here. Stand right here next to me. Okay. All right. And then everybody else get behind. Make sure you're in the shot.
Everybody else behind.
Today we're happy to be joined by Reverend Dr. J. Lawrence Gulley. We want to recognize his 38 years of service to the Los Angeles community. Today we are joined by many supporters as they're filing in behind me. There's a lot of us to pay tribute to his legacy. Dr. Gulley has been a tireless advocate for social justice in South LA and an inspiration to his congregation in the 9th Council District. Dr. Gulley came to us in 1954 from the great state of Alabama. While in California, he received his Ph.D. in religion from San Francisco School of Theology in 1970 and holds a master's degree in both political science and behavioral science from Cal State Dominguez Hills. Dr. Gulley is a true teacher, having worked on many educational campuses in many capacities. He retired from Compton Unified School District in 2003. This year and this weekend, Dr. Gulley is marking his 38th year preaching at the 3rd Baptist Church on 1210 East 41st Street. I think that deserves a big round of applause. 38 years growing the congregation, 38 years bringing joy, 38 years of weddings and funerals and baby blessings and all the things that comes along with building a faith community. I want to ask Dr. Gulley to say a few words on behalf of himself and his service and his supporters. Come on, Dr. Gulley.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's give him another round of applause.
Thank you, Council President Mr. Wesson, to the Council, and to my councilman, Mr. Price, to my immediate family, and to the church family, all these clergies that are here, Reverend Dr. Dean, Reverend Rushing, Reverend Fowler, and Reverend Thomas. And if I missed any, it's because I didn't see some that I did not see. And my dear friend, Reverend Brother Curry, Raymond Curry, and Bill Pyatt, my New York Life representative that I've dealt with all these years. To Almighty God and to this council, I'm glad to be here today. Glad to the point that I'm humbled to have all these people to have come down here in this rain. I live way out yonder, about 70 miles from here. It was awful difficult to get down here, but by the grace and mercy of God, I got down here safely. When I lived in Claremont, California, I was on the Human Relations Board for 2 terms, and it was nothing like downtown Los Angeles. And I'm grateful that you're doing those kind of things that you're doing, and thank you for that. I forgot my cousin here, Ray Gulley. He's from Mobile, Alabama, and his wife, who's an attorney, Darlette Gulley. I just want to, and if I missed anybody's name, it's because I'm human, and every now and then we cannot retain all the names that in the back of our memories. Thank you so kindly for this 90 seconds. And you tell Brother Price when you see him, I'd like to see him drop by 3rd Baptist, at least on this coming Sunday, which will be my 38th anniversary celebration at that church. Thank you very kindly.
Let's give him another round of applause.
Councilmember Price and all of us on the Los Angeles City Council, we want to present to you and all of your supporters for all of your service a commendation on behalf of the City of Los Angeles. Thank you all so much.
Okay.
All right.
You're taking a picture?
Dr. Gully, if I might, I'd like to personally thank you for your years of service. I want to assure you that we will pass on to Brother Price your message.
Yes.
I also want to share with you that I am a Baptist myself.
I know you are.
And I can't say enough about men like yourself who not only try to educate people in a spiritual way, but also try to help people live on this side of the River Jordan.
Yes, sir.
So I can't thank you enough for your service to not just this city and this state, but just thank you so much. Let's give the doctor one more round of applause. We have a quorum. Could you please call the roll?
Blumenfield, Bonin, Buscaino, Cedillo, Englander, Harris Dawson, Weezer, Koretz, Krikorian, Martinez, O'Farrell, Price, Rue, Wesson. 10 members present in a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. First order of business.
Approval of the minutes.
Mr. Rue moves and Mr. O'Farrell seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolution for approval.
Mr. Blumenfield moves. Mr. Bonin seconds. Mr. Rue.
President, I'd like to request that item number 11 from this past Wednesday's council meeting be reconsidered for a technical amendment. And I'd like to request if you could hold the item on the desk until the amending motion can be circulated.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we vote on reconsideration for that item? And if you could repeat it one more time.
Yes, Mr. President. It's to request that item number 11, which is Council File 17-0139 from this past Wednesday's council meeting, February 15th, be reconsidered for a technical amendment, and to hold that item on the desk until we have until the amending motion can be circulated.
Okay, so this first vote is for reconsideration. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Okay, we will hold that item for you, Mr. Rue. With that said, Madam Clerk, let's continue going through the agenda.
Items 1 and 2 are public hearing. And, Mr. President, there are cards on 1 and 2.
Okay, continue.
Items 3 and 4 are items for which public hearings have been held. The committee report for item 3 has been posted and circulated for council's consideration.
Okay, why don't we prepare to vote on those two items? Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Continue. And did we have an announcement about a receive and file that I just missed? Well, just continue then.
Items 5 through 8 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Okay, so without objection, those items are now before this body. You have cards on those items?
There are cards on 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Okay.
And yes, Mr. President, you are right. There is a request for item number 1A to be received and filed inasmuch as the property is a single family dwelling and is exempt from lien processing, sir.
Okay, so then, thank you. So without objection, that'll be the order. Let me look towards Mr. Weezer. Would you like to move forward with your presentation? Okay, so then the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and honorable council members. It gives me great pleasure to recognize Dave Lara, as many of you have come to know him over the years, is now completing his 36 years of stellar and exemplary service to the City of Los Angeles and the Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety. Dave has served in a number of capacities in the department and has worked in every corner of the city. He also has friends in every branch of our government and in every corner of the city, as I mentioned. He's one of those rare people who manages to do their job at the highest level, at times under incredible duress, but always with a smile and a laugh and a good nature that puts everyone at ease. Dave is both a consummate professional and a great human being. And he was wearing fedoras way before the hipsters did, so he's probably one of the coolest dudes here in the city of Los Angeles. To send Dave off into retirement that he deserves, I don't see him. Ray Chan? No, Ray Chan. Ray Chan. You got another meeting. Okay. All right, my notes said to introduce Dave Chan, but I won't introduce Dave Chan. But Dave Chan worked with Dave Lara, as you know, for a number of years. And we have with us current Building and Safety General Manager Frank Bush, as well as Karen Panera, the General Manager of Office of Economic Development. We're also joined by the excellent Assistant Bureau of Chief of Code Enforcement, Frank Lara, his brother. Where is he? Where'd you go? There you are. And we're also very happy to welcome the luckiest lady in the room, or maybe it's the other way around. Dave's the luckiest man in the room. Please welcome Dave's lovely fiancée, Roxy Campos. Welcome.
All right. Congratulations.
We will hear from some of these folks in just a minute, but I first want to tell you a little bit about his career, which is pretty extensive here in the city of Los Angeles. Dave began his career in 1981, where he began as an assistant inspector. He volunteered to be part of the Earthquake Safety Division, where he performed vital retrofitting inspections across the metro area. The Building and Safety Department recognized his ability and chose Dave to serve in the newly formed Disabled Access Division and tasked him with helping the department navigate state laws amidst a lawsuit. By his hard work and professionalism, Dave was promoted to Assistant Director of Case Management in 1995, a team that to this day still provides vital plan check and problem solving of the most complex projects come to the city. Dave was instrumental in setting up the structure of that team. Worthy of top management's confidence, in 2000, Dave began his role as a department's representative to City Hall and liaison to council offices. Here, Dave coordinated the department's efforts in assisting City Council with constituent matters and code-related matters as well. As I said, Dave makes friends easily, and by the time I arrived in council, Dave was already a legend because story has it that during one tough budget year, his position in council was slated to be cut, and city staffers were so upset they took to wearing T-shirts that said, "Say Dave." Save Dave. And they did. His position remained. In 2007, Dave assumed responsibilities of the department's public. That's the first time I ever saw that. In 2007, Dave assumed responsibilities of the department's public information officer, representing the department in the media. In 2014, he became Assistant Bureau Chief of Code Enforcement. And finally, with almost 36 years of dedicated service to the people of Los Angeles, and after receiving many awards and certificates of recognition from elected officials and the Department of Building and Safety for his stellar service, Dave has chosen to end his illustrious career with us on this day, Friday, February 17, 2017. It is a sad day for all of us, but to Dave, and we all acknowledge his hard work, and we are sad to see him go, but we are happy that he has served the city so well in his stellar career. So now I'd like to introduce Frank Bush, who is the General Manager of Building and Safety. Frank.
Frank, come on forward. Good to see you, Frank.
Good morning. I could stand here and pretty much repeat what Council Member Huizar just said. Dave has been a stellar employee, has been a great example for all the employees that have worked around him and with to follow. He's done a great job outreaching to the council and making sure that this department is helping to meet the needs of the communities in there. So I just want to congratulate Dave and wish him the very best. And we're all wondering what he's going to do with this collection of fedoras that he used to wear around City Hall all the time, and see if we're going to have a yard sale with those. But we just want to wish him the very best and thank him for his service.
Good morning, council members. Frank Lara, who I'm also with the Department of Building and Safety. I will be remaining for a number of years to serve you, so you can count on me. But let me speak about my brother. And David is really a product of building and safety. Both my father and my mother were employees of building and safety. They met at the department, got married, and hence, we have David here. So actually, the four immediate family members, my mom, dad, David, and I, are building and safety employees, and we're very proud of that. My parents would be extremely proud of David's 36 years of service. They passed away just a number of years ago, but they would be extremely proud, and I know David knows that. But anyway, thank you for your audience, and I'm very proud of Dave.
All right. And now we hear from the man himself, Dave Lara.
Well, you know what, Mr. Weezer, Dave, before you speak, we do have some members on the queue that would like to say a couple of things, and I'd like to start that off by saying that I do remember the fedoras, and he was and is, Mr. Weezer, still cool, and fedoras really play well when you are retired or when you move on to your the next chapter in your life. But I got here the same time that Mr. Weezer did. And if it wasn't for Dave basically holding my hand in the hand of my office, anything I wanted to know where related to the department, and Dave was the first call we made. So I just want you to know that I will never forget those early days and all that you did to make me look good and elevate my comfort level. I think you did a lot that you really did not have to do where related to me, and I'm sure other members. You did things that are not in the job description. So on behalf of all of us, I want to thank you for that and let you know that I will never forget. Those first couple of years are tough, and whenever I needed anything, that was the phone call that I made. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to your fiancé. I wish you guys a whole lot of happiness. With that said, Mr. O'Farrell.
You can finish that. Thank you, Mr. President. Dave Lara, I have had the great pleasure of working with you since 2002 when I was a brand new deputy for my predecessor, and just had some action items that I was responsible for. You helped school this inexperienced deputy on how to pull the levers of government to make them work better for the constituents that we all serve. And, Mr. President, you just mentioned this, you referred to this. Dave Lara has always gone above and beyond. So when Mr. Huizar brought you up just now for this retirement celebration, I jotted down some quality statements that flowed out of my fingertips, and here's what they are. You are a strategic problem solver. You are exceptionally responsive. You are a great listener. You are patient. You are loyal to your job and to your mission. You take pride in a job well done. You have great integrity. You care. You are the consummate professional. You work well with constituents without judgment. And you have an incredible legacy and an example. You have set the standard for others in the profession to follow. And I couldn't be happier and more honored to have shared 15 years years before I became council member, in the last 3.5 years since I have been council member, because your fingerprints are all over the 13th District, and in a very, very good way. You have left us all better off because of your professional experience, and I wish you the happiest of retirements in the future. Thank you, Mr. Lara.
Mr. Bonin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dave, it's hard to not be redundant over what was just said by the last couple of speakers, but I want to thank you. I missed the beginning of the presentation, and I leaned over to Mr. Buscaino, and I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Dave is retiring." And that's not happy news at all. I dealt with you and worked with you not just as an elected official, but as a staffer for a very long time. And we've all heard how fantastic you have been in working with elected officials, and that's phenomenal. But I know from my experience that you are as diligent, as hardworking, as solution-oriented, as willing to go above and beyond the call of duty when you get a call from a mid-level district office staffer as you are from the elected official themselves. And that means that you're not responsive just to the elective office. That means you're responsive to the constituents, because that person from the district office who's calling is calling about an issue with some business person who's trying to open their restaurant, and they're having an issue. And you got that red tape cut consistently. You got that business open. You have been, for me, one of the best examples of public service and of what a city employee is and can be. You know, if we could, in a time of cynicism when people like to bash public employees, if we could tell more people the story of Dave Lara and how he has worked so hard for the people of Los Angeles, the rankings and the poll ratings for both elected officials and for city employees would be a lot higher. You've been a tremendous credit to the city. I'm still angry with Ray Chan for moving you out of the council liaison position a couple of years ago. It was a blow, but even then you've been like an incredible asset to the department. And I really love you for the heart that you've brought to this and the dedication you've brought to this, and you're really going to be missed, Dave.
Back to you, Mr. Huizar.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the hardest working men that the city of Los Angeles has ever seen, Dave Lara.
Well, thank you, Honorable Council President and Honorable City Council. This is a bittersweet moment for me. Many years have gone even beyond the 36. I think my brother alluded to with my family, and I can recall when my brother and I were about 7 or 8 years old, we used to sneak up in the plenum up here and watch the city council go to work. And that's how long we've actually been accustomed to coming to this building, this great building. But I do want to say that the honor has totally been mine to work with all of you, your staff, your extended staff, and your constituents, because that's an important factor that we as civil servants not just have to prove, but we live it. We wake up thinking, what's the best way to fix a problem? And I'm glad I had the opportunity for the 15 years out of my 36-year career to come here into this great building, this great established icon of government, and to serve all of you, to serve the mayor's office, past mayors and present, and just to be, when you see me coming down the hall, just to be Dave. And I hope that my years of service, for those of you who have mentioned and for those who haven't, but I hope that my years of service have made an impact on all of your districts in the past and in the present. And I thank you again for my sincere thanks, and my sincere thanks for my brother and also my fiancée, Roxy, to all of you for this great moment in my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And as some of our colleagues mentioned, Dave often handled those very difficult projects, difficult assignments that sometimes people thought there was no solution, whether it was opening up a small business or somebody couldn't get the right permit and making a small adjustment to their house, but we have our arcane ordinances sometime. Dave always found a way. I always found a way to serve the residents of the City of Los Angeles. The City of Los Angeles will be forever grateful, Dave. You have committed yourself, your life, many endless hours, and as you say, you wake up going to sleep thinking about how to serve the public. That is a tremendous, tremendous legacy to leave. So thank you for your service. It's my great honor to present to you your resolution on your retirement on behalf of the council and the mayor. Congratulations on 36 years of serving the City of Los Angeles. Felicidades, amigo.
Thank you.
Well done. Now we all go to the back and take photos.
And Mr. Weezar, do you want to go into your other presentation as well?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. President. And colleagues, it gives me a great pleasure to be here with my colleague, Councilmember Harris Dawson, to talk about a wonderful work of art that was recently commissioned by the Engineers and Architects Association. The mural is a 9 by 7 foot colorful work of art that is now on display on the City Hall Bridge Gallery. You could see some of the photos there on your screen as the unveiling occurred. And it is part of the African American History Month celebrations. The mural is not only a beautiful and aesthetically pleasing, but it is also core and has deep meaning to all of us in this room. And that is because the men and women represented in this mural represent our city family. The mural was commissioned by EEAA, as I mentioned, and EEAA is the oldest employee union in our city. It was founded in 1894. EAA represents approximately 5,100 city employees who work in every city department and bureau at locations throughout the city. Besides the wonderful work that EAA does representing our city family, it also provides charitable services to our communities, something that I've witnessed with my own eyes. In my district, once a month, EAA members volunteer and feed the homeless at Dolores Mission in Boa Heights, and I can tell you that they are as dedicated to their charitable efforts as they are to the work they do here in the city of LA. That is why this particular mural is so special. The mural captures the heart and soul of our city family and its hard workers. It depicts our sisters and brothers in a myriad of jobs in a 21st century setting. I really do encourage all of you to go out and see it, not only see what it represents, but the beautiful way that it was put together by the muralist. As I mentioned, I'm joined by Councilmember Harris Dawson, who will be introducing us to our very talented muralist, Mr. Anthony Cox, a resident of the 8th District. Welcome, Mr.
Thank you so much, Mr. Weezar. Thank you for allowing me to participate in this great presentation. I'm happy to present and highlight the muralist who painted the great mural that we see as a part of our celebration. Mr. Anthony Cox is a resident of the 8th Council District. He lives in the Vermont Florence neighborhood. He's a graduate of the great Washington High School and earned a certificate in tutor art at Otis Art Institute. During the development of the mural, Anthony was assisted by his artist brother, Myron Cox, who's now retired from the County of Los Angeles. The mural was commissioned to honor members of our several city departments for their dedication, their hard work, and lifelong service. It depicts, among many other things, members of various city departments working in tangent at the Watts Towers, LAX, the exotic wildlife of the LA Zoo, all connected by a wire surging with the energy and its commitment to the city. In his own words, Anthony describes the mural as, "The whole piece to me is a balance of people, icons, and nature. It illustrates my lifetime in LA and captures the energy of our city through the people who run it." He continues, "It would be a great honor even to be considered an echo of the great Diego Rivera's work, and our inspiration is the same, celebrating the workers that we all rely on every day." So on behalf of the City Council and Councilmember Weezar and all of the residents of the 8th Council District, I'm happy to honor and celebrate our muralist today, Mr. Anthony Cox.
Let's give Mr. Cox a round of applause. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Well, I would also like to thank Ms. Rosalie Hooks of the Watts Towers Arts Center, who got me in contact with Mr. Jeffrey Garfield of the EAA, and we spent together working 4 months just designing the piece. Images would come in, images would go out, so we really had to balance the work together. And then afterwards, I was able to work with my brother, Myron Cox, and it was fun. It was one of the best things. It was one of the best things that the year was able to produce, with more work to come in the future. Yes. And I would like to thank all of you, all of the members of our city council, and all of our representatives of the city who help keep this city functioning and running. You do a lot for us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And next up, we will hear from Larry Day, representing EAA. Larry.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Los Angeles City Council, for seeing us. I'm accompanied by Melissa Popovic, who is one of our board members. I'm the Secretary of Engineers and Architects Association Governing Board. We have Bill Violante, our Acting Executive Director, and Marlene Fonseca, one of our business reps. So, pleasure to have them joining us up here. In 2016, Engineers and Architects Association commissioned the production of the 9-foot by 7-foot mural to honor our members for all time. And with the recommendation of our member, Rosie Lee Hooks, the Art Center Director of the Watts Tower Arts Center, we commissioned renowned artist Anthony Cox, who was assisted by his brother and fellow artist Myron Cox, to create this masterpiece. The original concept was to update the legendary murals of Mexican artist Diego Rivera, like the Detroit Industry, whose 1930s fresco at the Detroit Museum of Art, actually it's the Detroit Institute of Art Museum, which celebrated the workers of the Ford Motor Company and the worker of the industrialized age, and was the founder of the Unionized Worker of America. Engineers and Architects Association wanted to honor new workers of the information age, so where Rivera used the gears and machinery of manufacturing to represent workers, Engineers and Architects Association used fiber optic cable that enables us to phone, text, email, and use the internet for our daily work as a central theme of the mural. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. So on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, the City Council, and the Mayor, we'd love to present this result to Anthony Cox for the wonderful mural that he has helped all of us see the hardworking men and women of the city and what it means for all of us to work together to continue to make a great city. Congratulations, Anthony Cox. And also to Myron Cox, thank you so much, and we appreciate all your contributions along with your brother to this mirror as well. Congratulations. Thank you. And we also wanted to acknowledge the contributions from the Engineers and Architects Association, not only their contributions to the mural, but the various charitable work that they do throughout the city of LA. As I mentioned, in my district, they do a lot of work with homeless individuals, feeding them, cooking for them, and it's great to see that our employees, even in their off hours, are contributing to this great city. So congratulations to EAA, and thank you so much for the work you do.
But you know, Mr. Weezer, and I just want to say this, you know, this doesn't surprise me at all where it relates to EAA. I mean, this is what they do more than just make sure that we keep the city together and that things are done up to, you know, code or whatever. They're always out in the community, and they never get the kind of recognition that they need. And it's not always the big things, it's the little things. Like I know in the district that I represent, we do movies in the park. Yep. Every movies in the park, they're there, and they have the candy, the candy stand. So they give out free candy to everyone that's there, and they have a ball. But it's just that human touch, I think, makes a big difference. And we really appreciate everything that you do and that you've gone above and beyond. So I'm not surprised at all by you doing this. Anyway, let's give them one more round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Everyone come in the back and take some photos? Let's go in the back and take some photos.
Thank you.
Like my artistry work and the work.
We're going to go in the back. Coming this way, Mr. Cox. We're going to go back there. Oh, grab your chair.
Okay, Mr. Eric Previn, come forward. We're going into our multiple public comment portion. So, Mr. Previn, you have items 1A, 2, 6, 7, 8, and your general public comment.
No, I know. Thank you. It is Eric Previn from CD2, and I am running for the office of Mayor of Los Angeles. Good morning, sir. And that was a very touching presentation to the building and safety guy. And there are a lot of great people working in Los Angeles every day.
And the
going
speaker
around,
is not on any of the agenda items he
No,
signed
I'm on
up for,
item
Mr.
1,
President.
sir, which is the building and
Now,
safety.
let's just get on it, Mr. Previn. Thank you.
Building and safety liens. I'm sorry, item number 1. That's what I thought I was speaking on. It is the typical building and safety lien item, item number 1. It's 16-0160S931 is in CD3, so it is Mr. Bob Blumenfield who is going to get the prize today. He is the only brave council member to put a pernicious lien on his constituents today, and he did so even after Bonin made that very touching but disingenuous remark about how it's nice what we're doing. And what we are doing should be enforcing in the Palisades the egregious expansionism, but instead we're going after people who've already fixed their garage. On February 17th, that's today, a man was directed to come here, but they couldn't find it on the agenda, so that's why we're talking about Blumenfield's item.
Let's get on the item.
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm talking about Blumenfield's item, sir. You got to be a little quicker if you're going to interrupt me.
No, you
because
have to be on the item.
Again, I'm on the item, and I do not want to have these kinds of disagreements with you about whether or
No,
not I'm on
Mr. Previn, you don't run the meeting, so just stay on the item.
Okay.
Or you can sit down.
I think I'm going to not sit down, certainly, but I'll speak on item number 2 now, which is Mr. Weezar's district, because you don't want me to speak on item number 1, the lien item that I was speaking on directly. This, of course, is some treasured partners, the Barkers. I believe it's Byron and maybe Ann. The two of them together have a festival of LLCs, but this is one where we're taking an $80 million bond. It's a lease revenue bond. Mr. Falble could explain that we have no liability whatsoever. We have nothing to do with it other than you guys are approving it. And then what they're going to be able to do is get on with the important work. I believe this is in Price's. No, it's in Weezar's district. It's a 14-floor structure. 66 are market rate of the 500 and some odd units. And the only part that the city is required to do is make sure that they're in ADA compliance, which is Fauble will look down now. Independent Living showed that the city was not doing a very good job of monitoring that, and thus the ADA work was not done on dozens and many, many properties, costing us $225 million in liability. So I'm hoping that this time the city will look very, very closely to make sure that all of the appropriate accommodations are in place, because this is a disaster, if I may. Finally, we have 3 reward items, and I wanted to just simply clarify that we are now on to how it works. When you post a reward, you post in the Los Angeles Times, and Zahnizer and Emily working hard every single day to bring real good information. What we do is it costs $1,800 to run the ad. So I propose that instead of running the ad, we give the money to the victims.
Thank you. Give him his 1 minute for general public comment. Yes, sir.
Okay, and my general public comment is going to be, I certainly hope I will be brought back on the amended item number 11 that David Rue amended, because he was taking the interest out of a particular item, which I think is appropriate, but I want to be able to comment on it appropriately because it was added late. But today I'm going to say what I said to the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday, which is that Vision Zero is not a friend of the people of Los Angeles. It is designed to look like a measure to help with road safety, but in fact it's an opportunity for Bonin and Xerox and Englander to wire the city up so that we can more effectively get revenue off of Angelenos. I know this, and I'm going to be writing about it in a national publication very soon. I want you to know that it is a disgusting thing to do. It is disgusting to tag Angelenos without even telling them that you're going to. And Hilda Solis photographing herself with 2 California Highway Patrol while forgetting to mention to Angelenos that you can't use your phone.
Thank you, Mr. Previn. Let's go to Mr. John Walsh. So if I could get Mr. Walsh up on my screen. Mr. Walsh, you have 1A, 2, 5A, 6, and 7. And then your general public comment.
John Walsh, blogging at HollywoodHighlands.org, or J. Walsh Confidential, blogging, or tweeting at Hollywood Dems. As far as these issues are concerned, number 1, as usual, this is building and safety. Remember, I've been living in Los Angeles since 1976. I have not one complaint about building and safety. You do a fantastic job, and you should all be proud of yourself. I'm not one of these white guys who say you're all a bunch of crooks, you can go to hell. When you do a good job, I tell you, you do a good job. Now let's go to these rewards. Look at number 7. It's reinstating a reward offer for the death of Todd Britt. These are $50,000 each. That's what it is. But you look at number 6, and in this incident, the shooting deaths of Fidel Campos and Ricardo Mendoza, who probably don't belong to the same race as Mr. Britt, you're only offering $75,000. So I want to say to all you murderers out here, the first person you murder is $50,000. If you murder a second person in the same incident, they only raise it $25,000. It's $75,000. And if you want to kill 3 people, it's $100,000. If you want to kill 8 people, it's $200,000. And you don't and the one person who actually applied for the reward had to come here because you wouldn't give him the full reward. They're going to cheat you, and I'm telling you, you want to commit murder anybody who's not well known in South LA, and you'll get, and you can destroy my credibility by getting up here and say, John Walsh, everything he says is a lie. You know, they never say that. They never say it's a lie. They just sit there with their heads down. 1, 5, 6, 7, and number 5, this is various properties on the rent escrow. Again, You're doing a good job on Renesco. Now I'll go to public comment. You
Give
can
him his public comment.
general
Sharon,
public comment. Yes on Measure S. The LA Times revoltingly and disgustingly said that Measure S is trying to give the middle finger up the mayor's ass. Look at it. It says it right there, middle finger. This doesn't concern shit. You're saying all this. Why do you? I understand that David Zanizer is in love with the mayor, and the mayor flirts with him, and he'd like to stick his finger up the mayor's ass. But nobody on our group. But you look. Now, you tell me it doesn't mention sticking the middle finger. That Measure S is sticking the middle finger up whose backside. It's up there, and it's filthy, and it's disgusting. And Ravan Maharaj is a racist. Take a look at his skin. He's black, but he won't admit it. That's the editor of he hates black people. And what they want to do is shove their fist up Michael's ass. That's what the Times wants to do.
Thank you. Now we're going to go to Mr. Spindler, if I could get him on my screen. I have items number 2. Hold on 1 second before you start the clock. Yeah, I have 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So go ahead.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, we are here today to talk about this thing, the public hearing, the non-compliance of the code. CD3, this is against the minority people. The CD3 is not a good. No, number 1. Number 2, Hayward Manor Hotel, $80 million. $80 million for what? What are we buying? Are we buying a Dubai apartment building? No, we are buying something into 206 West 6th Street. This should not cost $80 million. It should cost $40 million. But you people need $40 million plus $20 million for prostitutes and hookers, plus $8 million interest, and then the rest of the money goes to Lanier. The LLP Lanier is the lobbying because Englander, Kenobi, and Allen have had their asses severed from further communication from lobbying here. Now, we get to rewards. Yes, this I thought was good. Why is it that you kill 2 Mexican people and you get a buy one dead and get one 50% off? I do not understand this. In other words, you kill 1 black person, it's $50,000 each. You kill 1 Jew, it is $75,000 each. You kill 1 dog in a Jewish district, it's $75,000. But you only get $75,000 to kill 2 Mexican people in the city. Now, where we come from in the Middle East, yes, this is possible, but not here. This is a racist award. It should be $100,000, $50,000 for Fidel, $50,000 for Ricardo. Now, this shows the racism. Go back and write this correct. Number 8, we're looking for the shooting of Joshua Ontenel, $50,000. Where is the killer? The killer is currently at home watching this on City Watch 35. Hello, killer. Hello, killer, yes. They are Joshua Ontelli. They're looking for you. I know you will not come forward, but maybe the killer can claim the award and then use another fake name and get 2 mortgages for the price of 1. But that's another day. That's another day. So, again, LA Times get paid for this bullshit, $1,500 per publication. I say both no on these. We're never going to find the killer. Never, never, never.
Okay, let's give him his general public comment. Minute.
So today is the day. Yes on S. Yes. Yes on S. The LA Times is right. John Walsh is also right. Yes, S will fuck the mayor. Yes. It will fuck the developers. Yes. It will stop spot zoning. Yes. It will end 80% of developer corruption in this building. I feel sorry for them, but the other 3.995 million people will be freed. Freedom. Rosa Parks style. Yes. We will be free from the slavery of Lanier, free from Englander, Kanabi, and Allen, free from blackmail, free from Ellis Act violations. All you have to do is vote yes on Measure S.
Thank you. So now I'd like Mr. Hunt to come forward. You have items 1A, 2, 5A, 6, 7, and 8. And then your public comment.
Here's what I'm talking about today, is the rewards. What funding is that coming out of? Is that coming out the general funding account? Or is that coming out the $70 million that you guys had to borrow to pay all your lawsuits? Where is this money coming from? And why are we paying to turn somebody in $75,000 and we got LAPD? I don't get that. We pay them to solve the murders, but we pay the other people to turn them in. Just don't fucking get that. I mean, that's a waste of money to me. If we have hired professionals, if you're a licensed professional and you're a detective and you work in homicide and you can't find people that's killing people, then why have a homicide division? Let's just say fuck that homicide. Let's just pay everybody. They'll tell. You give me $100,000, I see somebody shoot her. That's $100,000 in my pocket. I understand economics. I understand, but I just want to know where all is this money coming from. If we had to borrow $70 million to pay out our lawsuits, and which passed, I don't get that. All of these, just the $1,600. Let's just give those people that. That's just small change. You guys waste more money of that on events. So let's say that. Now, let's get to public comment. Cut the time. Let's go back to public comment. Public comment. The Constitution of the United States. I think half of you guys in here don't really know what the Constitution and what the Brown Act is. I'm looking at the city attorney. He really doesn't understand the Brown Act. The Brown Act was to protect the people who come to City Hall anonymously, just like this, for me to come in, walk through the metal detectors, and come in and do my speech anonymously. You guys violated my constitutional rights on more than one occasions. Like I said, I'm going to send you guys the bill. Herb Wesson, if you want to sit down and talk about it, you had a budget and finance. It'll cost the city $775,000 to pay for my attorneys. Plus, you guys got to go out and hire outside attorneys to handle my case. So if you want to sit down and talk, I'm a man.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to now go to Mr. Herman. So if you could put his up on the screen. Mr. Herman, you have 5A, 6, 7, and 8. Please come forward, and then your general public comment.
Once again, presentation for Mr. Laura. Department of Building Safety.
On the items.
My recommendation was to Mr. Laura that why is it so unconstitutional
This is not on
to hold the
the
lien?
items, Mr. President.
Let me get to the point. Rookie.
You don't have a card on item 1, so you have to speak about, I told you 5A, 6, 7, and 8, Mr. Herman.
The shootings. Let's talk about the shootings and let me go into the homeboy attitude. You motherfuckers don't care about life because you put rewards. Michael Hunt stated for the record, we got LAPD. On top of that, you got me, Herman the fucking monster.
What item is this, Mr. City
I'm talking
Attorney?
about the shootings, fool. 6, 7, and 8 are about shootings. Lives that matter. Lives that matter. Say her name. Waukesha Wilson. Say his name. Ezell Ford. What a great day to award people, right? No. We should be helping people solve these issues, not get people entangled, as John Walsh pointed out 1,000 times in one. Snitches get stitches. Snitches get stitches. And there's a lot of bitching going on in City Hall. That's the reason why Michael Hunt shut Englander up when he tried to put the TMU TRR restraining order on his dumb ass.
You got to get on the item. You have to get on the item. That has nothing to do with the reward. Last warning.
The issue here, and I'll read it straight out to the public on my last few seconds here. It says, by the way, by Mr. Price and Mr. Harris Dawson, relative to the offer reward for the information leading to the identification and apprehension. What goddamn thing do you not understand about life? Apprehension and conviction. The person's responsible. You'll never fucking find out. Walsh is always asking you to list the rewards. Where are the fucking rewards at? I want to know. Because I might be the next stupid motherfucker killed by some stupid fucking cop who doesn't understand that Sobrov said I'm suffering from post-traumatic
You're not on the subject. Let's go to his general public comment now.
Now, under the First Amendment and our 14th Amendment, definitely the rookie city attorney up there, yes, sir, rookie, I'm talking to you, rookie, 54.950.5, constitutional right, California tort, says stop prohibiting interruptions under the Ralph M. Brown Act so stupid motherfuckers can talk about dumb assholes, as Sheila Q pointed out about all of you at the county board meeting. She definitely knows how to speak, assholes. And it's Friday, and I love Friday because it brings the best nature of me, the beast, 666. The way you think when you have the homeless population dying on the street. Our veterans are still in the goddamn street. And where was I last night at 3 o'clock with Janice Perry? Dealing with the fucking homeless issues. HHH. Vote yes on S, and fuck you, Eric Garcetti, for all the homeless
Thank you.
questions.
Your time is over. Okay, thank you. Now, you quit disrupting the meeting, please. All right. At this point, let's move to items 2, 5, 6, 7, and 8 for a vote. Let's open. Well, let's vote on 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
And what did you say on item number 2, the request is to do what?
There's a request to receive and file item number 2, sir?
Okay, then without objection, so ordered.
And that brings council to item number 11 that was reconsidered from the Wednesday meeting, and the amending motion has been posted and distributed, sir.
Mr. City Attorney?
Just for the record, what is being proposed is a technical, non-substantive ministerial change regarding the official who transfers the money for the account.
Thank you. So, Mr. Rue, we're going to just move on this then. So, on this item, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Forthwith, Mr. President. Urgent forthwith.
Without objection. And we need to, and what we'll do is we will vote on the urgent part. So, let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Mr. Previn, please sit down. Mr. Previn, you're disrupting the meeting. Please go away from the center aisle. You are disrupting the meeting. Mr. Huizar?
Thank you, Mr. President. If we could reconsider item number 2, please, and I would like to ask that we then note and file the item. The applicant for TEFRA has withdrawn the application. Item 2.
Okay, so let's vote on reconsideration. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
Your request now is that what now?
We note and file the item.
Okay, so ordered. Let's go to item 1. Do I have a Muhammad Atta on item 1?
Thank you.
Mohammed. Let's prepare to vote on that item. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
10 ayes.
I do want to recognize that in the back of the room we have some visiting young people that are with us today from Holy Name. Let's give them a round of applause there in the back. And they're here to, I guess, view the African American History Month display. So anyway, welcome, young people. Thank you for coming. Okay, do we have any other general public comment? Mr. Herman, you're disrupting the meeting. Or Mr. Spindler, whoever's making the lamb sound, do it again. I'm going to ask you to leave. What's left before the council?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Well, you know, I think I have some more just regular public comment. Can we verify that? I want to call Miss Richardson, Jacqueline Richardson, Austin Lee, Daniel Un, Richard Yarnell. Please come up to the center. Well, if I call you, if you want to speak, you got to come up. Roy Lee, please come forward, and you have 1 minute. Please.
I guess I wasn't allowed to speak on the item I want to speak on, so this is just general public comment. I just wanted to express my disappointment in my representative not letting those who came to offer support and comments to speak. I just feel like it's undemocratic and against, and we haven't got our due process. I'm also disappointed as an attorney in the procedures that have taken forth, the lack of rebuttal time to address any of the alternative facts that were presented. And we feel like, at this point I'm maxed out, and my rights to the pursuit of happiness I feel have been treaded upon. And I'll take the last 20 seconds just to give a public shout out to all the people that came out in support, all the people who signed our petition, and the people whose voices weren't heard today. Thank you.
Okay, next speaker, please come forward, identify yourself.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ricky Yarnell. I've been a member of the bar and restaurant community here in Los Angeles, for about the past 6 years. I was here to speak on behalf of Mr. Yoon and the Hourglass business. It's just disappointing to not be able to be given the time to speak in support of some people that are competent and responsible business owners to help a growing community. So just disappointed in the council's lack of respect for our time coming here today and not allowing us to present our case. Thank you.
Next.
Thank you for your time. Well, my name is Austin Lee. I'm a former United States Marine Corps veteran. I just want to say I'm very disappointed in the fact that we're trying to open up a business, but we are held in contempt by the previous convictions of previous owners at our place, and that they're putting conditions that are limiting our business hours, and also having us make amendments to our business plan. So I just want to say it's really disappointing that you guys won't support young entrepreneurs and also veterans in this matter. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Roy Lee, one of the new operators for item number 3, Hourglass Business. I just want to say that I'm very disappointed that our councilman who we have supported and wanted to continue to work with has taken such an unprecedented and unwarranted action in opposition to our project. Even after unanimous decision by the commissioners, after deliberating over 7 hours of debate over the evidence that we have provided. And I just want to question the councilman what we're doing that is so bad as a new operator and young entrepreneurs to pull such a rare motion of 245 to let our dreams just go down the drain. So I just want to say that I'm very disappointed, and I want the council members to know this. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Richardson. And after Ms. Richardson, I'm looking for Joshua Lucas, Francois Vera, Omar Baldwin. Yes, ma'am.
This happened last Friday, the 10th, between 4 and 6:30 p.m. I was out at Union Station, and I couldn't figure out if it was holographs or regular white people. They were walking through the turnstile real quick, real fast. They were dressed in regular work clothes, and there were about 300 to 500 of them walking through. I couldn't tell if they were real people or what. They seemed to have one tent, and walking through, it seemed like it was a little army walking through. I couldn't figure out what it meant. It wasn't any of my business. What does this mean? Where are they going? Where are they coming from? I couldn't figure out anything. I was wondering, are these holographs or are these real people? There were about 300 to 500 of them, and where they were going, I have no idea.
Thank you. Next person, please identify yourself, please.
I'm Joshua Lucas. I came here to, again, say the good words of the Eugene Lee and Augustine. On the issue number 3, basically my history of working in LA for the past 12 years, fine dining, cocktail bars, working and living with the gentleman of item 3. A little disappointing we didn't get to make our statements. Just wanted to make that clear. Thank you.
Miria Lopez and a payment by Mani. Yes.
My name is Francois. I'm friends with Daniel. I'm a bar operator. I had the opportunity to work with him in the past, work near him, and I'm a big supporter of what he's doing. And I think it's unfair that he can accomplish his dream in opening his own business. That's it.
Thank you for coming. Yes, next speaker.
Hello, my name is Omar Baldwin. I'm founder and CEO of Peace Please nonprofit. Today I'm here to say enthusiastically that peace on earth is possible. Together we can do anything. At my school in high school, I was the captain of the junior varsity football team. And I used to have to push the the linemen. Cause I actually was a lineman. I played defensive end, and my job was just to push others and to keep the end, down packed. And I think that's what I did. But I try to take that same mentality into this nonprofit business. And I believe we can tackle a lot of issues if we put our minds together and if we have Derek Carr in our huddle, playing quarterback, we can do anything.
Thank you. So if I could add the next speaker.
Hi, my name is Mariah Lopez. I work with Sidney Frank Importing Company, and I actually am here on behalf of item 3 as well. I have came to know these gentlemen through their previous workplaces, and I'm here in support of them moving forward with the opening of this new establishment in Koreatown. They're here to offer responsible business that can only enhance this community. At this point, I'm also expressing that same disappointment the previous gentlemen up here have been, and I'm hoping that you guys reconsider, but seriously in deep disappointment that this has put to a stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon. Hello, my name is Payman Bamani, and I'm an attorney, and I'm also friends and a supporter of the folks from Hourglass and Daniel Yoon. And all I just wanted to say is that I'm also disappointed that the people who came here didn't get to say their piece, and also that I've worked with these folks and I've known them, and all they've ever done is open up establishments that increase the integrity of the neighborhood. And I myself don't believe in ghosts, and I don't believe that City Council should vote on the idea that ghosts of a previous business would somehow infect a new, completely different business with different owners. So I hope that they can be heard in the future if there is another chance for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk is there. I see no more cards on my screen, so that closes general public comment. I had asked the clerk earlier what was before this body, so I'm assuming now we're at the posting and referral stage, so let's consider things are posted and referred. Do I have announcements, members? Announcements? No announcements? Other than everybody be very careful this weekend, drive carefully. If we could all rise for adjourning motions, we can all rise for adjourning motions. I'm looking to my right side. Are there any adjourning motions to my right? Now I'm looking to my left. Mr. Buscaino.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I ask that we adjourn in memory of Melvin Eugene Haynes, born in Arkansas and relocated his family at a very young age to his beloved San Pedro neighborhood, was a mighty Pedro pirate graduating from San Pedro High School, and was a lifelong member of the San Pedro YMCA. He loved his hometown, his friends, and his community, had an amazing work ethic, and dedicated himself to 35 years with the Southern California Gas Company, where he retired as a regional manager. And upon his retirement, he fulfilled a long-time family tradition of becoming a longshoreman. He is survived by his wife of 38 years, Patricia, his aunt, Willetta Washington of Compton, and 5 brothers, Billy, Ray, Jackie, William, and Stephen. He is also survived by his children, Miguel Eugene Haynes, Marion, Maisha, Khalees, Sandra, and Brent. His memory will be cherished by his grandchildren, a host of nieces and nephews, extended family members, and his lifelong friends. Melvin Eugene Haynes, may he rest in peace. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Buscaino. I'm still looking left. I don't see any more adjourning motions. Members, this meeting is adjourned.